in the Annika Pro-Am. As it says here, it will take the Gamebridge ambassador Caitlin Clark returns to play this Wednesday. No, not this Wednesday. In the Wednesday, November 12th, Pro-Am at Pelican Golf Club as part of the Annika driven by Gamebridge at Pelican.
The LPGA just made the smartest business move of 2025, and it's exposing a massive problem in women's basketball. While Caitlin Clark's own league still can't figure out how to market their biggest star, golf is about to cash in on her power for the second year in a row. And the numbers from last year, they're absolutely insane.
Here it says Clark will play Wednesday, November 12th at Pelican Club. Pro-Am tickets are $25, and event organizers. Now peep this. Business is booming when Caitlin is involved. Pro-Am tickets are $25, and event organizers saw demand increase 1,200% for the Pro-Am because of Clark, one of the most popular figures in the sports world. 1,200%.
1,200%. Let that sink in for a second. Ticket demand didn't double, it didn't triple, it exploded by 1,200% because one basketball player decided to swing a golf club. But here's what makes this story absolutely wild. Every major sports league in America understands Caitlin Clark's value except the one she actually plays in. The NFL gets it, Major League Baseball gets it, the NBA gets it, even golf, a sport she doesn't professionally play, gets it. But the WNBA, they're still trying to figure out if she's worth protecting from getting hammered every night on the court.
Bam, Annika Sorenstam, and I believe they might even have they've got a statement from somebody. Caitlin Clark enjoyed her time at the Annika so much last year that she's running it back. The WNBA star will return to the LPGA Tour event at Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air, Florida, where she's scheduled to participate in the Pro-Am on November 12th.
November 12th at Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air, Florida. Mark that date because it's about to become one of the most watched golf events of the year. And it's not because of the $3.25 million purse. It's because Caitlin Clark brings something to sports that's almost impossible to manufacture and a genuine crossover appeal. You know what happened last time she showed up to this event? The Golf Channel went live during her round. They assigned a reporter to follow her down the fairway for interviews. They treated a Pro-Am participant like she was competing for a major championship, and viewers ate it up.
Times a dozen followers. Clark had thousands. She played the front nine with the world number one Nelly Korda and back nine with golf icon Annika Sorenstam, the event's host. It was an honor to play the Pro-Am with Caitlin last year. The crowds were amazing, and we are excited for her to return to the Annika in November. Annika said she added such a great dynamic to our event, and her passion for golf and competitiveness were fun to witness firsthand.
Listen to how Annika Sorenstam talks about Caitlin. The crowds were amazing, great dynamic, passion, and competitiveness. This is a World Golf Hall of Famer, one of the greatest golfers to ever live, giving Caitlin Clark her flowers. And she's not doing it to be nice. She's doing it because Caitlin delivered something the LPGA desperately needs: attention. Most groups at a Pro-Am have maybe a dozen people following them around the course. Some only have a handful. Caitlin had thousands. Actual thousands of people walking the fairways just to watch her hit golf shots.
Car drivers, Colton Herta and Marcus Erickson served as the caddies. Come on, man.
All right, everybody, welcome back.
I think the cool thing about that is just you felt the energy in the room, the amount of women sitting in there and so passionate about being a leader in their space, whether it was sport, whether it's business, whatever it is. I think that was what's so cool about it. And obviously getting to sit next to Annika on stage is pretty special for myself. So I think a lot of things that me and Annika said is we share a lot of the same values, and I think that's really cool, being driven, but so do they at the same time. Like, obviously we're, professional athletes who played sport or whatever it was, but at the same time in their lives, it all relates. And I think people at times forget that we're real humans too, and we're driven by the same things that they are, maybe just achieving things a little bit differently, and whatever it is, but you could just feel the energy and excitement in the room, and I thought that was what's so cool about it.
You can hear it in her voice. She's genuinely excited about this. She's not treating it like some corporate obligation or sponsor appearance she has to check off. She's a fan. She respects these golfers. And that authenticity is exactly why this works. Caitlyn mentions being a fan of Nelly Korda and Annika, being honored to share the stage with them, wanting to practice and get better. She's not showing up to collect a paycheck and phone it in. She's competing, even if it's just a pro-am. That competitive fire doesn't turn off just because she's holding a golf club instead of a basketball.
Every league understands the value of Caitlin Clark. Every single league, and we're going to get into this article. Every single league, from Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, everybody seems to understand the value that Caitlin Clark brings to the table, except guess who? Except who? The league she plays in, the WNBA. Kathy, in my opinion, this is the reason you got to go. This is the reason you have to go. All these WNBA players that was disrespecting fans, disrespecting Caitlin Clark fans, and all of this nonsense. Y'all don't understand the value she brings. But all of the leagues who are prospering and winning, they understand the value. And it's pretty sad.
This is where it gets uncomfortable for the WNBA. Every single major sports organization understands what Caitlin Clark brings to the table, except the league that pays her salary. Think about how backwards that is. The LPGA, which has zero contractual relationship with Caitlyn outside of her GameBridge sponsorship, is bending over backwards to feature her, promote her, and protect her brand. Meanwhile, the WNBA spent her entire rookie season allowing her to get physically targeted, fouled 94 feet from the basket, and treated like a punching bag, while some players and fans questioned if she even deserved the attention. The contrast couldn't be more stark.
It looks like she's going to participate in the same event that she was in last year, which garnered a hell of a lot of attention. A ton of attention. Caitlin Clark to run it back at the LPGA event. WNBA star will compete in the Annika Pro-Am, Annika Sorenstam, and I believe
GameBridge locked Caitlyn down when she was still at Iowa. Not after she got drafted. Not after her rookie season proved she was worth the hype. They saw the potential when she was still in college and secured that partnership before the WNBA even knew what they had. And now GameBridge is the title sponsor of this LPGA event, which means Caitlyn's involvement isn't just good for golf. It's good for her personal brand, her business relationships, and her long-term earning potential. She's building an empire outside of basketball, while her own league is still debating whether she's actually good for the game.
She's had an endorsement deal with GameBridge, the title sponsor of this LPGA event, since her senior season at the University of Iowa. See, Kathy, you talking about without the WNBA, the girl wouldn't have been making $16 million. She been getting money with these people while she was at Iowa. She been getting to the bag before the WNBA. Sorry. That would never work here. The WNBA needs to be grateful of Caitlin Clark, not the other way around. Okay. I had an amazing time at Annika last November and participating in the Pro-Am alongside Nelly Korda.
Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, keeps talking about how the league doesn't need to change its marketing strategy. She keeps insisting that rising tides lift all boats and that Caitlyn's success helps everyone. But here's the problem with that logic. It only works if you actually capitalize on the moment. The LPGA understood this immediately. They saw what happened last year, saw the 1,200% spike in ticket demand, saw thousands of people following Caitlyn around the course, and said, let's do that again. That's smart business. That's understanding your audience. That's recognizing a once-in-a-generation opportunity and maximizing it.
in the world, she's serious. She's really, really serious about this golf. Hosted by World Golf and LPGA Hall of Famer Annika Sorenstam, the Annika is the LPGA Tour's final full-field regular season event for 2025 and includes a $3.25 million purse. Quote, it was an honor to play in the Pro-Am with Caitlyn last year. The crowds were amazing. We are excited for her return to the Annika in November, Sorenstam said in the statement. She's added such a great dynamic to our event. Her passion for golf competitiveness were fun to witness firsthand. You know who's also extremely competitive at golf? Michael Jordan will rip your heart out. He's competitive at everything. But, you know, just throwing another GOAT out in the arena there. I look forward to having her back and continuing to introduce the great game of golf to the next generation.
$3.25 million purse. This is the LPGA Tour's final full-field regular season event for 2025, which means it's a big deal for the golfers competing. It matters for their season standings, their earnings, their tour status. And Caitlin's presence doesn't diminish that minus, it amplifies it. More eyeballs on the event means more exposure for every player in the field. More ticket sales means bigger crowds and better atmosphere. More media coverage means sponsors get more value, which leads to bigger purses in future years. This is how you grow a sport. You find your crossover stars, you feature them prominently, and you use that attention to elevate everyone else.
Yeah. All roads lead to the Annika Pro-Am. Trust me, all roads, all cameras, all people will be tuned in for the Annika Pro-Am. Why? To see the GOAT, Caitlin.
All roads lead to the Annika. That's not an exaggeration. For one day in November, the entire sports world is going to be paying attention to a Pro-Am golf event in Florida. Not the main tournament, the Pro-Am, the practice round, the celebrity exhibition, and it's going to draw more interest than most actual LPGA tournaments, because Caitlin Clark is playing. That's not a knock on women's golf. That's just the reality of what star power looks like in 2025. And the LPGA isn't bitter about it, or resentful, or trying to downplay her impact. They're embracing it fully.
The breakdown, Clark doesn't load her hands properly, but her athleticism to generate good club speed. Fans will see if things have improved next month. So, and like I said, that came out by The Athletic, aka the New York Times now. And
The Athletic sent her golf swing to a coach for analysis. A major sports publication dedicated resources to breaking down her golf mechanics like she was a tour player. They concluded she doesn't load her hands properly, but generates good club speed through pure athleticism. Translation, she's raw but talented. Exactly what you'd expect from an elite athlete picking up a different sport. But here's what that story really tells us. Media outlets know that anything Caitlin Clark does is content gold. Her golf swing is newsworthy. Her practice routine is worth covering. Her Pro-Am performance matters to audiences. That's the definition of transcendent star power.
In my opinion, this is the reason you gotta go. This is the reason you have to go. All these WNBA players that was disrespecting fans, disrespecting Caitlin Clark fans, and all of this nonsense. Y'all don't understand the value she brings, but all of the leagues who are prospering and winning, they understand the value, and it's pretty sad. We have an article by Scott Agnes. Hey, Scott, listen, man, I let bygones be bygones. I let bygones be bygones, bro. Just don't pull what you pulled again. Don't do it again. I let bygones be bygones. Salute to Scott Agnes. Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA needs to be grateful for Caitlin Clark, not the other way around. That's a harsh statement, but is it wrong? Caitlin was making money with GameBridge while she was still at Iowa. She had endorsement deals, national recognition, and mainstream appeal before she ever played a professional basketball game. The WNBA didn't create Caitlin Clark, they inherited her. And instead of treating that like the gift it was, too many people within that ecosystem spend her rookie year trying to tear her down, question her worthiness, and minimize her impact. Meanwhile, golf rolled out the red carpet and said, "Welcome. We're thrilled to have you."
I thought we'd just check this out. This was from the Indiana Fever's official X page from last year.
Yeah, you got that. There you go.
180 yards isn't fair.
Michael Jordan is viciously competitive at golf. He's famous for it. He'll bet on anything, trash talk anyone, and refuse to lose even when it's just a casual round with friends. That same mentality is what made him the greatest basketball player ever. And you're seeing that exact same competitive DNA in Caitlin Clark. She's not content to just show up and hit a few balls. She practices. She wants to improve. She studies the game. She respects the craft. That's why Annika Sorenstam talks about introducing golf to the next generation through Caitlin Bray, because Caitlin treats the sport with genuine reverence while also bringing that killer instinct that makes her must-watch television.
LPGA loves Caitlin Clark. They know she's great for business. They know the numbers that come with having Caitlin Clark's name affiliated with the event. They know the pub that is going to bring and everything that's going to come with it. So obviously they are going to do what's best for business. Unlike the WNBA,
the LPGA loves Caitlin Clark because they know she's great for business. They're not ashamed to admit it. They're not trying to pretend it's about something else or that everyone contributes equally to the ratings spike. They straight up acknowledge that Caitlin moves the needle, and they're structuring their event around maximizing that impact. That's not exploitation menace, that's partnership. Caitlin gets a platform to showcase another side of her personality and athletic ability. The LPGA gets a massive boost in attention and ticket sales. The golfers in the field get more exposure. Gamebridge gets incredible brand visibility. Everybody wins when you lean into your advantages instead of pretending they don't exist.
Alongside Nelly Korda and Annika Sorenstam, two of the best in the game, Clark said in a statement. I'm honored to be the ambassador for the company in Gamebridge that is so committed to elevating women's sports. I can't wait to return to Tampa in November to play in the Pro-Am with the best women golfers.
She was limited to just 13 games this year because of the WNBA's short season, which makes her off-season activities even more important for keeping her in the public eye. Athletes lose momentum during long breaks. Fans move on to the next thing. Attention shifts to other sports. But Caitlin isn't letting that happen. She's staying active, staying visible, and staying relevant by doing things like this golf event. And here's the brilliant part. She's doing it in a way that feels natural and authentic, not forced or desperate. She genuinely loves golf. She genuinely wants to compete, so it never comes across as a publicity stunt.
Great for business. That was good for business was great. It'd be nice if the WNBA could get with the program. It'd be nice if you didn't allow your greatest asset to get beat up and hacked and fouled 94 feet and be targeted since day one of stepping into the league. It'd be nice. It'd be smart. You'd be better off. But you guys are going to do what you want to do. Here it says Clark will play Wednesday, November 12th at Pelican Club. Pro-Am tickets are $25 and event organizers. Now peep this.
$25 tickets that saw 1,200% increased demand. Let's do the math on what that means. If they expected to sell 1,000 tickets, they ended up with demand for 13,000. If they planned for 2,000, they got 26,000 requests. Those are arena level numbers for an outdoor golf event. And tournament organizers aren't stupid. They saw what happened last year and they're running it back because they know lightning can strike twice when Caitlin Clark is involved. They've probably already increased their ticket inventory, expanded their hospitality areas, and prepared for even bigger crowds this time around.
The crowds were amazing. We are excited for her return to the Annika in November. Sorenstam said in a statement, she's added such a great dynamic to our event, and her passion for golf competitiveness were fun to witness firsthand. You know who's also extremely competitive at golf? Michael Jordan will rip your heart out. He's competitive at everything. But, you know, just throwing another GOAT out in the arena.
She added such a great dynamic to our event, and her passion for golf and competitiveness were fun to witness firsthand. Annika Sorenstam doesn't give hollow compliments. She's a legend of the sport who's seen every type of celebrity golfer come through these pro-ams. She knows the difference between someone showing up for a photo op and someone who actually cares about performing well, and she's explicitly praising Caitlin's competitiveness, which is the highest compliment one elite athlete can give another. That competitive fire is what separates Caitlin from every other crossover celebrity who dabbles in golf.
It's because of me too. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop it. Stop it. They said the Golf Channel went live during her round and had a reporter interview Clark on a walk down the fairway. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. Most groups had a handful, sometimes a dozen followers. Clark had thousands.
IndyCar drivers served as caddies. Think about the ecosystem that's forming around Caitlin Clark. You've got LPGA golfers, IndyCar racers, Gamebridge executives, and thousands of fans all converging on one golf course because she's there. This is how cultural moments happen. This is how athletes transcend their primary sport and become genuine mainstream celebrities. Tiger Woods did it. Michael Jordan did it. Serena Williams did it. And now Caitlin Clark is doing it in real time, and we're all watching it unfold.
There. I look forward to having her back and continuing to introduce the great game of golf to the next generation. Clark, the Iowa star and leading scorer in college basketball history, has taken the WNBA world by storm since she was the #1 draft pick by the Indiana Fever in 2024. Goes on to talk about she was limited to 13 games this year. Her presence at the Annika last year attracted big crowds that swelled into the thousands. Interest was so high, The Athletic even sent a video of Clark's swing to a Gulf Coast for analysis.
I look forward to having her back and continuing to introduce the great game of golf to the next generation. This is the part that should terrify the WNBA. Annika Sorenstam sees Caitlin Clark as a vehicle for growing golf among young fans. She's using Caitlin's platform to reach audiences that might never watch an LPGA event otherwise. She understands that Caitlin's fans will follow her anywhere, even to a sport they don't normally care about. And she's leveraging that loyalty to create new golf fans. Meanwhile, what is the WNBA doing to capitalize on Caitlin's ability to bring new fans to basketball? Are they making it easier for casual fans to watch games? Are they featuring her prominently in marketing? Are they protecting her so she can play at her highest level? Or are they just hoping the momentum sustains itself?
Let's get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Caitlin Clark, for her second offseason, she will
the GOAT Caitlin Clark take over the show. That's how people are talking about this event. Not Caitlin Clark will participate. Not Caitlin Clark makes an appearance. She's taking over the show. That's the expectation. That's the energy. And the LPGA is leaning into it completely instead of trying to downplay it or spread the attention around artificially. They know what they have. They know who the draw is, and they're